Hi, so for today we are going to continue our discussion all about the calculator techniques, no? So for today we will be having the calculator technique for the composition of functions. So how are we going to effectively calculate the result of a composition of function, as well as different methods that we are going to use, both conventional and the technique in calculator. Let's get started. So for problem number 1, we have given that the f of x is 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 7x plus 5, and we have a g of x that is equal to 3x squared minus 11x plus 2. Evaluate the f of g of 5. So if we may recall, this is a composition of function. It means that if we are going to evaluate f of g of 5, we must first evaluate g of 5, meaning substituting the value of 5 to the function of g of x before substituting it to the value or to the excess of the f of x. So, what are we going to do first is we're going to compute the g of 5. Okay? So, by entering the calculators or the g of x here in our calculator, plus 2, we're going to compute or press calc, okay, to a value of 5. And then the calculator will ask what value of x we are going to input. So, let's just enter 5. Then equal sign. So this is 22. And this 22 is what we are going to input to the f of x because it is the f of g of 5. So after we have computed g of 5, whatever the value is, we're going to substitute this value to the given f of x. So we have this, that's 22. We can just memorize it, 22. So 2x cubed, I'm just rewriting the f of x, 2x cubed plus 3 alpha x squared minus alpha, I mean 7 minus 7 alpha x plus 5. So cut again, and then the value that we have got a while ago is 22. So you see we have 22,599 as the answer. So that's one way on how you are going to calculate. No? So I'll teach you another way. So if we have a composition of function like this, g of 5, okay, so, and it has the same variable, x. The g of x has x and the f of x has x. I'm going to assign first whatever is inside the composition of function, g of 5. I'm going to replace g of x with the value of y. So, I'm going to have y, and that is equivalent to 3x squared, 3 alpha x squared minus 11 alpha x plus 2. So, meaning, if I'm going to input a value of x there as 5, y will be stored as 22. Okay? And after which, okay, I'm going to have a colon indicating that this colon we will be performing another operation, and that is the f of x. So this f of x, I will change the variables f of x here, the x's here with the y. Okay? So if I'm going to replace that, that would be 2 alpha y cubed plus 3y squared minus 7y plus 5. So again, what's the reason behind that we are changing the variable to y? Okay, it's because if we get the value of the first function as x equals 5, the value of 22 will be stored to y. And after which, the calculator will actually substitute the value of y here on our second given uh, function. So let's try. So click solve, just click solve, making sure that this is okay. Click solve. So the calculator will be asking what value of x. So in this case, we have 5 because we are solving for the g of 5. So we have 5. So it computed the value of y that is 22. And if furthermore you press equal, it will calculate whatever we have typed after the colon. Okay? So we have 2y cubed. So it will be substituted into the f of x. Okay, so yeah, the value of y that is 22 will be substituted in this function in the f of x. It so happened that the value, that the variable is only changed with y. So it's still the same answer. So it saves time. Okay, it will actually save you time. Okay, so of course, you may also use the variable x. Okay, so you may also use the variable x. That's another way. I did not use x because it will actually confuse you. So I use y. So you can also use values of x. So instead of y. Okay? So just for me not to confuse you. But this is still okay. Okay. So what happens if we are going to interpret this calculator? So the calculator, if we click solve, will be asking what is the value of x. And if we input 5, x would be equal to 22 because it first solves this. Solve this value, 3x squared minus 11x plus 2. So what happened, okay, just to avoid confusion, I did change it into y. Okay, but it's the same process. So click another, you'll be solving, the 22 will be inputted in this function, f of x. Okay, so it so happen, you can use either of the two methods, either of the three methods. Okay. So for problem number 2, given that the f of x is 2x plus 3 and, okay, double n, and g of x is 3x plus 2, evaluate the f of g of x. So the very first thing that we're going to do here is this, since this is a composition of function, we have f of g of x. So whichever is nearer to the x, that is the first thing that we're going to solve. In this case, that's g of x. Okay, and then after getting g of x, we're going to substitute it to the f of x. Now, how do we solve this? The same process that we have. It's such that it so happened that we don't have any values of x here. So our resulting value would be actually an expression. But in this case, we can assign a value of x. Okay? So and then we are going to reverse engineering the choices. So yeah, same old process. So since g of x is the first one, I'll be having alpha x, and that is equal to the g of x, because that's the first thing that I'm going to solve since it's nearer to the x. 3x plus 2. Okay, and then colon again, and then I will input 2x plus 3. Okay, after which, after computing for the value of x, it will compute for the 2x plus 3, having the value of x from the 3x plus 2. So, sir, how do we do this? Because we don't have any values of x. You can assign any values of x. So, if we are going to assign a value of x, let's say 2. Okay? So, what will happen is x 3x plus 2 will be 8. And 2x plus 13 will be 19. So, that is the f of g of 2. Okay? So, if this is f of g of 2, the answer is already 19. So, since we are in the choices, okay, 19, so we can store it in the value a so that we cannot forget 19. So, we are going to look at the choices. Which of the choices will actually give a value of 19? Okay, 6x plus 1. Of course, using the value of x equals 2 that we have a while ago. So 13 is not equal to 19, so letter A is not the answer. Let's jump up first with the letter C. 11x plus 6. Calculate it using the value of x equals 2. So 28 is not equal to 19. Jumping to letter D. 7 alpha x plus 6 times 2. Okay, inputting 2. 20 is not equal to 19. Finally, we can try letter B. 2. 19 equals 19. So, the answer should be what? Letter B. Because if we're going to divide this with the stored value of the f of g of 2, it's going to be equal to 1. So, because it's the same. So, the answer would be 6x plus 7. You can use any number. Okay? Actually, you can use any number and then try to calculate the same thing that we did a while ago. Okay? In uh, solving the composition of function. Okay? So I hope you are learning. You can also use the conventional method that we have tried a while ago. Okay, we can 3 alpha x and then compute it first with 2. It's 8. Then 2 alpha x plus 3. Then solve it with the corresponding value that we have got a while ago. That's 19 still. And then substitute to the choices the values of x, which is 2. If anyone equals to 19, then that is the answer. Or if you use another variable, it should be equal to that variable. Number 3, how about given f of x equals 5x squared minus 6x? Find the f of f of f of f of 1. Okay, basically, this is the same function. This is basically the same function inputted in itself. Okay, so we are going to get the first, the f of 1, substitute 1 here, and then after getting that value, we're going to substitute it again to the value of f of x, and after getting that value again to the value of f of x, and finally again to the value of f of x. So how do we do this? It's actually pretty the same process. So we have alpha x, and then that is equal to 5 alpha x squared minus 6x. Okay? So that is the first one. Okay? And we're going to solve this using 1. Okay? So, but the catch here is that we should be able to repeatedly, okay, input the values of x here, so that if we are going to evaluate it, it would not be, of course, it would not be hard for us to evaluate it. So, for example, the first method that we are going to use is this, okay? The first method. So, we have to solve, again, 1. That's negative 1. Okay? So, if you're going to calculate again, okay, and then input a negative 1 as the value of the new x. Okay? So, that's the value of the new x. Negative 1, that's 11. That's for second one. And again, a value of x, 11. That's 539. That's for the third one. Okay, and the last one is 1,449,371. So you're going to click this equal sign 4 times because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So that is 1,499,371. 4 times because the same values of f. Okay? So the same values of f is already considered or already considered on the computation of the f of x. Okay? So again, I'm repeating. Press cut. We have value of 1 because f of 1. The value is negative 1. And we press equal again. It will ask us what value of function. Again, we're going to solve. In this case, f of 1 equals negative 1. So we press equal sign. So that's for second f of function of f of 1. Okay? And then another one, we have 539, and then another one 4 times, 1,449,371. And the other technique is that we're going to use another variable y. Okay? So, and then the value of this will be stored into y. Okay? And we'll be having colon y equals the value of x. So technically, after we have evaluated the value of y, okay, it will be stored into this value and it will evaluate the x. So in this case, we'll be asked to find what will be the value of the given y. So if we are going to solve for y, okay, for x, we input 1. So the value of y is negative 1. So y equals x. So technically, it is actually saying us that this is the first value. So another one, negative 1, 1. Okay, it's not changing, no? So yeah, I think we have encountered, this should be, of course, let me rewrite this again. Y equals 5 alpha x squared minus 6x. Okay? So it must be x equals to y. Okay? So whatever the value of y, it would be equal to the x. So if we solve x for 1, Y would be negative 1. And X equals Y, so it should be negative 1. Press again X, 11, that's the second one. This is the third one. And lastly, this is the fourth one. So we have solved that the value of this would be letter D. Okay. 1,499,371. Okay, so that's it. If you learned something from this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel, okay? And share it with your friends who are having a preparation in their board exam or even in their integration and correlation courses. So for the calculator techniques. So if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much and God bless.